Live. Yay.
Yes, we are. We have I'm outside and you're inside. This is a magical experience. Thank God to the interwebs. So this is
And,
Jason.
and this is Feely. And
And this is
this,
second cup of coffee.
yes, it is. This is second cup of coffee. And this is the first time we're doing it in separate rooms. So this should be really, really interesting. So
Yes.
without further ado, do, 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 do.
All right, we are back. So it is Friday.
It
What did
is
we learn
Friday.
this week? What have we learned?
So much. I wanted to actually feature some of the books that I've been reading. I know we talk about it, but this is Everything is Figureoutable by Marie Forleo. So many actionable steps that you can take in this book. It's no excuses type of book. If you want to really up level your life, definitely a book to read. If you need some love and hope in this time right now, this is an amazing book. I had the opportunity to be a part of this book. This book for parenting, because you know, and I know, even though we don't always want to admit it, we do need some help. So this is a great book. It's Hal Elrod, and he partners up with a couple of people, and he wrote the Miracle Morning for Parents and Families, and then of course James Clear, Atomic Habits, a book to have. So between all these books, I am learning so much, but definitely just no excuses and come from a place of kindness. How about you?
Yeah, I've been reading Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. I actually read it before, and sometimes when there's so many people doing so many things, you got to just put it down because it can, for me, of course, I can get stuck into 19 shiny objects. So now I found my way back into that book, and now I am back in front of 19 projects to pick up that I'll tell you about later. So in that front now, but it's great to you always have to be learning from people, right? And there was a person in there, a general, that he was talking about that you have to constantly look at someone who's doing what you want to do and follow them, not look at them in angst or not look at them in regret of yourself. And you want to look at someone who's at your same stage but doing it better. And then you want to look at someone who's behind you, who's not where you are yet, but where they are at that point. You want to look at how they're doing it better than you did at that point, because you can learn from all three aspects of it, right? So the person who's ahead of you, you want to get to, the person who's doing it better, and the person that did the past self of yourself better. And another person spoke, and of course, I don't remember anybody's name because that wasn't a point because you're jumping through it. But the other person spoke about the one thing that stuck out to me is that what would you tell your younger self? And he said, well, I'm not my younger self, so I'm not going to answer that question. What I am going to answer is I try to look forward 10 years or 20 years and say, what would I tell myself today? Because that's what I can act on. I can't act on telling myself, hey, 20 years ago, when I wasn't in a position and my mind wasn't formed, I should have made these better decisions. Well, no, because that's not possible. I can look at, okay, the future, there's a future position I want to be in. And at that future position, what would I tell myself today?
That makes so much sense, because I was just having the thought of I just watched a video from Viola Davis. She's an actress, and once upon a time I wanted to be an actor and a model, and I was that's why I came to New York. That's why I came to LA. Not very many people know that, but that's what I wanted to get to. I wanted to do Shakespeare for the rest of my life, and
I
I ended up.
still remember, because I'm going to cut you off. I still remember walking through Union Square and seeing you in Chase Bank. Was it on that ad you did, that feature for Chase Bank? I'm Peely's big happy smile on Face Bank. So memories.
Do you know that there's that picture, that image is still being used? And I guess banks love that image. This has nothing to do with anything, but banks love that image because you saw in Chase Bank, my aunt, not like 2 months ago, and this picture was taken back in 2000, like, I don't know, four. My aunt just saw that same picture for some other bank. I think it was what's the one with the red and gold? I can't even think. Anywho, it's still
Wells
there.
Fargo.
Wells Fargo,
Yeah.
thank you. So once upon a time, I wanted to be an actor, and whatever. I didn't see it through. I came up with all the excuses, why not, and what for, and ended up getting to the restaurant business, which was amazing because I got to meet you. I would have met you some point in life anyway. Um,
At Chase Bank.
at Chase Bank, probably. Yes. And you would have been like,
Yeah.
oh, is that you on the poster? I would have been like, yeah. And you would have been like, let's go get some coffee. So anyways, what I was saying, how to tie this all together in like a nice little bow, I'm getting to the point, I promise. So I was watching something about Viola Davis and everything that she had to go through from being a child, from the just the life that she had to lead when she was a child, from the abuse to racism to sexism to everything, how she like overcame that and became the amazing actress that she is today, because she knew this is what she wanted to do and she did everything she could to get there. So that being said, what is it in our lives that we need to do to really get to the point that we want to get to? So yeah, that's sort of the story I wanted to share. I completely forgot how I was tying the whole thing together, but it really has to do with, for me, I gave myself the excuses why not, and how not to take that step forward in a past life. In this life, there's so much I could tell that past life self, like what to do, what not to do, how to push forward, how there's no excuses, how you are worth it. But I don't know if she would actually listen. But what you said is true. I can look forward to me 10, 20 years from now. And what do I think that woman would tell this woman right now? So
Yeah. And
that's such amazing advice.
the best talk track that comes to mind is that you don't work and make money to live. You live to or I'm sorry, you don't live to make money and work. You work and make money to live.
Yes.
And if we do it the first way there, then we're basically just in a casket without the sides on it. And it's can be a harsh reality, but ultimately, if right now, we're seeing spikes in coronavirus, which was not surprising, right? Everybody's going to go out. Of course, there's going to be more, but if you're not going to go back to your job, you're not happy at your job, or you're just, going to be working at home. Well, okay, can you make that experience better for yourself? Can it be something that you can get more out of? They were talking before. I mean, the average person does 2.5 hours of work in their 8-hour day anyway. So now at home, you can at least do other stuff because no one's gonna be watching you for the other 5.5 hours that you're home, and at least be proactive in whatever that thing that maybe you love doing, right? So for us, I know we're going to be doing a lot more writing coming up. We're going to be
Mhm.
doing a lot more of that, and that's fun. We haven't done that in a while now, so that will be fun to get back to, fun to have more, out there, and that's going to be an exciting little journey that will continue on. Just getting back to putting a pen to paper
I am
or
really
keyboard, fingers keyboard,
finger to keyboard, fingers to
not pen to
keyboard.
keyboard.
No,
Yeah,
well, the kids might have gotten to our keyboard today, but that's besides the point.
yeah.
Anywho, so our topic for today: are we going to do 2020 is not canceled? I mean, is that something that we
Well,
want to talk
since we
about today?
promised it yesterday and we promised it today, eventually we better do this topic before people keep asking. Maybe it is canceled because we won't
Because they're
talk
not
about it.
talking about it. And then
Yeah.
this is actually a perfect segue, because yes, a lot of us are still inside in our homes as the country starts opening up slowly. And yes, I mean, it was to be expected. There's going to be a spike, but should this make us like get scared again and get back into our homes? I don't think so. And to the point of 2020 not being canceled, there's so many like gifs or like little like memes where people are just like, yeah, I give up. 2020 is just done. 2020 is not even over yet. We just got into summertime. We still have it's not even July, it's June. We still have 6 more months of 2020. So what are we going to do with these 6 months to make it count? And what haven't you been doing in the last 6 months that you could have been doing this entire time?
So if if it's been a rough year so far, just remember, if you're a sports fan, I'm sure you've seen a million, and I'll hate to point this out, but I'm going to point it out. The Patriots were down to the Falcons. What was really the score at halftime during the Super Bowl, and it was halftime, and that's what we're coming up right now. It's halftime of your year, and for that, okay, so be the home run team that comes out and in the second half and just crushes it and just crush it, because you know what, first half is over. Okay, so what did you learn? What did we go back on? Where are the points we can make the change, and where can our comeback story really start to play, right? Because everybody loves a comeback story. We can all use the excuse it's been a tough year. There's been a lot of things, from George Floyd to what's been happening with the pandemic, to really just the economy being shuffled, to jobs being lost, unemployment. There's a million reasons why it's tough out there, but there's a million reasons why you can go out there and make change and be better.
That, I mean, just to what Jason's saying, there's a million reasons why not. There's a million reasons to side with hate, to side with anger, to side with pain, to just curl up in a ball and just not think about anything, to give up, to just not do what you were put on this world to do, which is to shine and be powerful and to get to your higher self. So instead of siding with that side, why don't you start the day off with kindness, with love, with aloha, with knowing that just in this year you still have 6 months to make it that 2020 that you wanted it to be. It's the next millennia. It's 2020, folks. And it can still be amazing. But how are you going to be amazing? So yesterday I had my wonderful talk with the ladies of More, Mothers of Real Estate. We should just call it just mothers or moms, because we just talk about everything and we try to come back to real estate. But we were talking about just that, like how we can push forward and just be our better selves.
I'm here listening to you, and I've never been on the side of it, so I'm touching little buttons over here, and I couldn't get back to the screen, but I'm back. But
I
yes,
kept on talking.
No, we're good. We're good. So moving forward, right now, you have another 3 weeks left, to finish out the half of the year, right? And now looking forward, you have 2 quarters.
Mhm.
So you have a lot of time to course correct, to put change, instead of thinking about it or saying I want to. It's now the time to do, right? And that's a lot of our work as parents. Is our kids want to a lot. They want to listen. They want to eat. They want to do these things, but it's the doing that makes it whole, right? It's the doing that completes the activity, right? And so the trial and tribulation is part of it, right? If not, we would have a million scientists who just were creating massively great things for the world. But since they have to experiment and fail constantly to get to greatness, then ultimately it's going to be that thing where, well, that's our life, right? We're basically all scientists, because we don't know. If there was some formula that everybody said, hey, do all these steps, you'll have trillions of dollars, you'll have anything you want, and you're going to live forever, right? Well, there's not. So on that point, you have to figure out, what do you want, right? Because then there are recipes for that. There are ways that other people have done that. There are things that other people have done to meet that. But that's why there's no one code for everybody. Because some people want to be rich. Some people literally want a big field that they can sleep in a tent, and that's great for everybody in the middle wants something else. So what do we want, right? And then who else is doing that? What can we learn from them? The route for us to learn so much on ourselves, yeah, you have to be proactive to learn, because you don't know where it's going to come from. But you also need to take the time to think about, well, where can I shortcut? Where can I shortcut everything? Especially now, like imagine doing, I don't know, I can't think, if we were little kids during coronavirus, and what we would have done. Like we would have had such little data that we've been like kind of like not going anywhere. We'd be stuck in our backyard, right? Like at least now you can communicate. I'm here, an hour away from you, and we're on this.
We're talking
So
live.
if this can happen, right? And talking live, what else can happen? What else can be something? And so there's potentially 3 things that you can do right now. You can see who you can help. You can find a resource that you can add value to, and you can do a lot of listening and then start making notes about what you like. That's probably the
So
3 things I do right now.
we just hit the 15-minute mark. So if you all are exercising, awesome. You are the halfway there to half an hour. If you're running, turn on that, come back home. Or if you are exercising, know that you have 15 minutes more to go, and I applaud you. So before we hit on to what kind of exercises we're doing today, can we tell our audience why you are not in the office today?
Oh, sure. Or you're on the kiddos. So yeah, just out with the group looking at a new property, doing property inspections, and across the board over here in PA. It's nice to be out of the house, and it just even getting into Pennsylvania, people are a lot less concerned, I guess, about coronavirus,
Mhm.
or maybe a lot less covered up. But on that part, it's been a solid day, so
Awesome.
productive day, and so I am on assignment.
So things are still happening out there, folks. Jason just went to a building inspection for a property that we have under contract. So get out there. Things are still happening. People are still selling. People are still buying. This means that you can too. So my workout for the day. Today I woke up, did yoga, and then got the kids ready. Jason went for his run. And then when I got out, I went for my run and did my 50 push ups. And then I'm going to go for another run later just because I feel like I need to loosen up my body. I actually posted that on my page because a couple of people have been asking both Jason and I to post our workout. So I'm going to try and post my workout every single day. I'm not going to be able to do it ahead of time because I really don't plan it. So every morning, if I think of it, I will put it down, and if I don't, just plan on running for the day. How about you? What are you
Yeah,
gonna
we
do?
we don't it as a life philosophy, especially now we've been doing more full body mass movement exercises. We
Yeah.
haven't been doing a lot of breaking down, like I'm just going to do biceps today kind of routine. So our workouts have been more fluidity. We've been doing a lot of motion exercises, squats, some kettlebells, presses, and a lot with running, jumping, anything of that magnitude has been a lot with our workouts. So yeah, we've been running a lot. I ran a big run yesterday morning. Then I ran with that 30-pound bag last night for 4 something miles, and then push-ups, and then ran 6 miles today. And then if you're gonna run, then I guess I'm running, right? So if
Well,
Mama
then
runs,
run.
then I will run. We will run. So maybe we'll get the kiddos out, depending on how hot it is on the kiddos later, and do a family stroller run, which
Yeah, that'd be
usually
fun.
takes up about a whole road. So we might have to find a road of chaos right there. So yeah, that's going to be great. And then so going forward. We have a solid week next week. We have a
Mhm.
lot coming up. There's a lot of time. Definitely keep up. We have our challenge coming up. We're putting that together. Probably still a few days out potentially, but stay tuned for that. That's going to be exciting. That's definitely going to be something that we're going to jump into there. And what else you got?
Monday, I know Mothers of Multifamily. I have Arisa Rice coming on. Amazing woman. She uses, and I'm blanking on the app that she uses, but she basically rents out her farmland to RVs. It's kind of like our Airbnb, but I think this thing is going to blow up, especially if you have land and you can rent it out to people who just want to camp someplace safe, or they want to bring their RV someplace safe and they want to experience the farm life or experience nature. If you have a property like that, this is something you should be looking into. Now that Airbnbs are kind of suffering because of everything that went down, I think this is something that you can sink your teeth into. So I cannot wait for Arisa Rice's um, interview to come out on Monday. She's former military. She is just an amazing mama, and I cannot wait to share her story with everyone.
Awesome. And I actually have Walter Bond coming on the podcast today, 4 o'clock. It's going to be exciting. So you have some questions you want to ask Walter. So he's just literally a worldwide motivational speaker. He was a NBA, basically playing the NBA for a number of years, played with Karl Malone and John Stockton. So I'm sure some of those names ring a bell to you. from that completely changed his life to really go out there and help others from the stage. And he's just got an awesome story. We're going to talk a lot. I have some questions on mine. I want to bring him that potentially, hopefully he hasn't heard before. So we hope to get another side of that. But if you have some questions you want to hear, definitely reach out, and you're showing me the phone to show me something, but
No, I'm
I don't know
showing
what it
everybody
was,
that's
but I'll
on the
say yes.
phone that you're coming from elsewhere. You're not in the studio. Somebody just asked me, "Where's Jason?" And I just let them know that you're here, that you're in front of me, that we're not missing you.
Yep. Well, that studio looks good. That's a good looking studio.
Yeah, isn't it? Somebody really awesome.
And if you see,
go ahead.
Yeah. Tell everybody about those hats behind you. Who made those hats?
So my grandfather made these hats. My grandfather passed away in February, and that was unexpected, and at the same time, it was a blessing in disguise because I got to go to Hawaii and I got to see my family. And I don't know when we're going to be able to go back to Hawaii because of everything that's happened with quarantine. Like if you go to Hawaii right now, you have to quarantine yourself for 14 days. The average trip that we take is probably 14 days or less. So we'd be quarantined the entire time if we went right now. So being there and being a part, just being there with my family was amazing. But my grandfather, my family knows he's known for these hats. Any like family party, especially the reunions, he would make these hats and he would teach people how to make these hats. So that's why we have these hats hanging up just as a memory for my grandfather.
There's actually, if you move a little bit left, you can see there's the daddy hat. And if you move or right, one or the other, you can see and there's the kiddo hat right there. So he was well skilled.
Yes.
Pretty awesome little hats back there.
Oh, we have some amazing person that's talking. Salma, thank you. This is nice. I'm experiencing the farming life right now. Salma, definitely something you should look into if you have some land. If I can remember it, I'll post it in the comments or in the notes what that link was. So thank you for listening. What an amazing week it has been. I think we might have lost Jason. I see he's frozen on the screen. Nice smile. And actually, you know what? Instead, we're gonna have our little guy join us. Oh, I think Daddy might have came back. Look, it's Daddy.
Daddy?
Yeah. Say hi, Daddy.
Hi.
So what do you have to say, Luke? Are you gonna tell everybody this is second cup of coffee for us?
This is second cup of coffee for us. Dad, are you there?
I think Daddy is experiencing technical difficulties. So everyone, thank you.
Yeah, and we actually, you want to talk about our garden?
Thank you, everyone, for listening. You are all so amazing. We are actually we're gonna do this since Jason's not here. We're gonna do this together. Come here, come. We can do something else after we say goodbye to everybody. Come on, Mommy's lap. Oh, you guys are getting heavy. So do you guys want to show everybody the art that you put on Mommy's arm? So we did something amazing for school today. We did artwork on Mommy's arm like Daddy. So everyone, thank you so much for listening. So grateful. And let's see if we can get Daddy back on. No, Daddy's still not here. Again, everyone, amazing. Thank you so much for listening. So grateful. And if you can, no, please don't press anything. And if you are able to, please rate, review, and subscribe. It would mean the world to us. Bye now.
Can I?
Do.